Hello Mr. Alex.
Hello everybody, how you guys doing? BLR, thank you so much for the tier 1 for 14 months, appreciate you. What's up Flush, what's up Insty? That's crazy, it's like you had something else to do. It is, it's true, I did have something else afterwards. Hope you're doing well tonight. I hope you're doing well too, Nev. Hi everybody, hi Sam, how you doing? Fush, HI, how you doing? Snick, Ben, Moss, how you doing? Just the stream, I need it, thank you. McClacky, 1 + 1 = 80. It's an interesting board. We'll talk a little bit about the board I'm going to be building today, my little stream today in a second here. Mr. Toes makes me think I have a... What the? Foot fetish the way he's always on my mind? Huh? Just saw you were on with Tim and Angel. Love those guys. Funny. Very funny stream. It's Fabs. Thank you so much for the 7 months. So nice. I really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. When's the KR2 stream? So, I actually am going to be doing a KR2. The date, I have something set, but it hasn't shipped out yet. So the answer is, I have no idea when we're doing it. But we will be doing one. I didn't know I was going to be doing one. Funny story about that. They messaged me like 2 months ago, or about a month ago, saying they wanted me to cover a keyboard. But they didn't give me any details because they couldn't give me any details. And then we were discussing last week about them shipping out a board. And I thought it was something completely different. Turns out it's the KR2. Because I asked today, I'm like, is there any chance I can cover the KR2? And they're like, what do you mean? You're already covering that keyboard. And I was like, what do you mean? And then they just said, that's the keyboard we're sending you. So... that's the keyboard I'm going to be doing, the KR2. Again, exact date, don't know yet. So, soon though. Very, very, very soon. I was just watching your Sin 65 VOD. I'm here now. What's going on? How you doing, Cinetopia? The Sin 65 was interesting. I think I ended up really liking it. I ended up using it, because it's right here. I ended up using it, I would say, all of... today up until the stream just because I wanted to swap it out. I quite like it. It's genuinely a very full, nice sound signature, and I'm very impressed with it. The orange Sin 65. Yeah, you know what? Speaking of cool colors, I'm a little sad that we didn't get the keyboard we're doing today in a different color. I'll explain why in a second. But first, Mechland sent me out. This is... oh, I didn't turn on this camera. My bad. Sorry, guys. Mechland sent me out a screwdriver kit. I know what you're thinking. It's just a fucking screwdriver kit. Who cares? But it has long bits inside of it, and that's why it matters to me. So that's the only reason. So it has long bits, and I've been wanting this, something with like longer bits for a long time. Yeah, it clicks in. I've never actually seen this kind of screwdriver kit, but what also, I'm not paid to do this. This is just me like nerding out about a screwdriver. Wait, what's going on here? Why is the camera turning off and on? I thought I turned it on. Is the battery loose or something? Oh, shit. It's not charged. Did this come undone? It did come undone. I might not have a top camera for a few minutes here, guys. Okay, let it charge, I guess. Oh, well. No, it's just not charged. I don't have the dummy battery installed yet, which I should probably go and do now. Do you guys, here, you know what? Let me go get the dummy battery real quick. Top camera is always cursed, I know. I don't understand what's wrong with me in this top camera. Actually, I don't even know if the dummy battery came in or not. 1 second, guys. Should literally only take a second. It's right here. No, it does. It usually does, but honestly, it doesn't usually last very long. I usually have to do it right before stream, and I forgot to do it this time around. Let me do one thing here. This guy. It's not going to be the prettiest, but it'll get done here. Is the Envoy a good board to pick up right now? I think so. Despite the one minor issue with it, I still consider it a minor issue. I don't know if you guys consider it a minor thing, but I do. Being the screws that need a certain type of retention, I guess, or just a certain type of, like, the way you screw it in has to be very precise. But to me, it's not a big deal. How do you unlock this camera now at the back here? There we go. There's one. There's the battery. Come out. Pop you in. Let me just plug this in. Thank you, Skull King. Appreciate you, dude. Okay, there we go. So nice.
11 months went by, Alex.
Thank you, Bruno. Really appreciate you guys. You guys are too kind. Way too kind. Having to do that every time. Yeah, I had to order the dummy battery, but I had to wait a little bit for it to come in. So, this was cool to me because I kind of like screwdrivers. I don't know. You put this in, right? And this won't come out. You have to push up on this part, then it gets released. Listen, this probably already exists somewhere, but like low key, this was so cool to me. Bruno, honestly, it's just because I keep forgetting to switch back to 1440p. That's the only reason. And I just keep forgetting to switch it back. Nifty, link please. I don't think I have a link quite yet, but it's somewhere on Mechland's website. I only got this in like a few minutes before stream, so I haven't really like played around with it. Again, I'm not sponsored. I'm not affiliated with Mechland at all. I just buy their products. They sent me this alongside something else that I bought, so they just said, here's a little gift for you. I appreciate it. I'm probably going to be using it just because I like the longer bits on it, so... Yeah, I like the locking mechanism and I like the longer bits. Yeah, I'll switch back to 1440p for next time. Let me make literally a note right now. So I have like my to-do list, 1440p stream. Cool. Alrighty. So, another quick little thing. Oh, okay, here. I'll tell you guys my rough date for the KV2. Rough date. Again, this is assuming I get it in time, will be October 3rd. Still got some time though. I like the Leica. Thank you very much. It's a very nice camera. So, this is an interesting keyboard. It's called the I guess it's pronounced IQUINIX. IQUINIX. It's the 1+1. It's interesting. Can't say today. Take care, Steve Bass. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and thanks for being here, guys. It's interesting in the fact that I genuinely like the way that it looks. I think it's different. There are some things I don't like about the way it looks. Like I don't like the big IQUINIX badge on the front. But I do like the overall aesthetic, and I like what it's supposed to be. So it's supposed to be a bit more modular in the future as they release more things. But it's 304. I think it's actually more than 349. I believe it's 360 something for the Bluetooth model, which I think is the. If you're going to buy something like this, it makes sense to get the Bluetooth PCB. The thing about that price point, and this is something that I've been kind of living by now with that price point. If you were to pick up something in the $350 to $400 range, it has to wow me, first of all, and it has to have stuff that doesn't come up on other keyboards. So right away, I was like, why does this cost this much? And then if you go to their website, if I type in IQUINIX 1+1 and go to their Super 1+1 keyboard or whatever they're dubbing it, I looked at the keyboard breakdown. I'm like, there's a lot of parts. And then when I thought about it, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of things they had to CNC for this. That's not an excuse to the price at all, but I can see why it starts to get up there. And I believe it's something like there's 7 separate pieces. 7 pieces that they had to CNC. So, and this is kind of where my criticism's gonna come in a little bit. That's fine if you want to do that. No one's going to stop you from designing a keyboard like that, right? However, you kind of have to know your market. And right now, I think the market's not quite at that let's spend a lot of money on keyboards thing right now. Unless it's, again, super different. Aqua, thank you so much, dude. But let's take a look at the board. I'll take a look at the accessories afterwards. This one here did come pre-assembled, but I'm going to be taking it apart, which is why I actually scheduled a stream for this. Again, I don't love this color, but man, there's some actual pretty colors on the website. Let's take a look. This board is very Murica. I don't understand this particular colorway. It kind of reminds me of Percent Studios, like Casio colorways a little bit, sorta, kinda. And thank you again, Aqua, for 19 months, dude. Let's take a look. Let's peel this guy off too. The compact F-row is kind of odd. I do see a lot of micro scratches on the back of this weight. And this is the first time I'm opening this. I don't know if this has just been a review unit that's been kind of passed around a little bit. I don't know if you guys can even see that. I would have to, oh, maybe right there. There's like a bunch of micro scratches everywhere on it. The PVDing otherwise is good quality. It's okay quality, not the best I've seen. But yeah, there is some scratches there. I'm gonna chalk it up to maybe this has been passed around because I do see some fingerprints. And again, I've never touched any of this part. There are some fingerprints around here, even like black fingerprints here from like grease or something.
Alex toes.
So I don't know, man. I do see some wear with this already. Looks like someone dipped their hand in ink and then just kind of like touched the board. It's hard to pick up on the camera. So nice. But
Thank you for keeping me sane, heart.
Kanikoff, thank you so much. Mike, thank you so much for the Prime, dude. It's a maker's signature. Oh, maybe. Again, we'll chalk it up to it being a prototype. I would hate for this to, be in the final unit. One thing they did boast was they said this is like really quality CNCing and good quality ano or e-coats. It does look that way. Everything seems to be very consistent and very well done. Newton, guys, thank you all for all these subs. What the heck? I don't deserve this. Connor, thank you again. Mike, thank you. Doc, thank you. Newton, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. So let's look past some of that stuff, though, like the fingerprints that are, again, kind of look like you dipped them in ink or whatever. Dudes, Cinetopia, thank you so much for your Prime, too. And let's look past the scratches on the weight. Again, we could chalk this up to someone used it prior to me. I'm not going to judge this on its pre-assembled unit. I'm assuming most people who would probably, if they had the market to buy this, they would probably swap things out themselves. I do like this. Again, I don't love the badge here. I don't understand why they put a badge with IQUINIX right in the front. They could have put this, their brand logo, like here on the back, hidden. They didn't need to put it here. I don't like branding on the top over here. So, yeah, the afro is definitely different too. I don't hate that. I think layout's very preference-based. But if there's one thing I can say as, again, criticism, and this is even for like mode too, just so everyone doesn't think I'm like biased towards one thing. Seabass, thank you so much, man. The tempo is also an HHKB or HHKB style. This is a different style layout. The tempo might not do as well as the Envoy because of layout choices, right? And again, I'm not going to fault someone for making a layout choice. It's just a preference at the end of the day. I don't mind this. Would I use something like this? Maybe not, but I kind of like the style of it otherwise. Like, it is cool. I do like their other colors more on the website, though. But how do we take this apart now? I do want to take this apart. Interesting side profile, too. It's a fun-looking keyboard. I just don't know what the market is for a keyboard at this price point like this. I am kind of curious to see how well the stabs are done. Let me get some keycaps. Thank you again, Seabass. These are the Moondrop switches, I believe. Let's see. Let's get some keycaps out. Let's get... I don't know what's going to work well with this. High key, I'm getting Bento out. We're going to use Bento for today. I know for Bento, though, I am missing a stable... what's it called? The space bar for it. So we'll use this color. Spacebar rattle is not quite there, which is nice. I feel like at this price point, it has to be wow for me to be interested. It has to offer something that other boards just don't have. I agree with that sentiment. You know, a little underdone the stabs, but not terrible stock stabs, assuming this is how they all come. Yeah, the spacebar's a little... I don't know if it's the switch choice, though. But I am going to take this all apart, though, because I do want to see what's inside this. Now, another reason I want to take a look at this was I wanted to see how... Because has IQUINIX done, like, a custom keyboard before that is meant to be geared towards the higher... I guess, spectrum of people who buy things? I think they've done like one thing, right? I'm curious to see how this is gonna fare in terms of like how easy this is to put together. And this is a brand that's typically known to make, I guess, more affordable things. So again, very, very interested. Is this the bit you need? No. I haven't heard a stab ravel. Haven't heard a stab ravel for a while. Oh, I have. I definitely have. They've done a 60 and 65. I have some stock Moondrop Tessence on a Switch table lately. They do have a later and thinner sound. Yeah, that's why I'm going to switch them out probably. This screw's being so weird. Where's it the screwdriver? Did I put it in all the way? There we go. I think the screws are under the feet as well, FYI. Oh, really? If they are under the feet, that's going to be super fucking disappointing. I hope they're not. I have some other switches that I'm going to quickly grab for this build. Thanks for recommending me the Hamu Heartbeats. Dude, they're so good for silent switches. So good. Ooh. I don't like that. I thought we were over this. They're adhesive and there are screws underneath. Yeah, I don't like that. Big L. Like I said, I genuinely like the way the board looks. It's fun. Like, I do like it, but that is just like a bad design choice. Because now these adhesives aren't going to stick very nice. I'm going to lose those feet eventually, and then it's just going to be like chaos. Does this just come right off, or do I have to do something else? How on earth? Do I need to take this thing off too? That tells us this was not a demo unit. I hope it's not just... Do I have to take out all these feet? I'm so confused. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, so criticism again for IQUINIX. I appreciate what they're doing here with the board. I think it's a fun concept that you'll be able to add on more to this. But if the point is to be a custom keyboard, this doesn't really seem like it's rebuild friendly in the future. I get that it's hot swap, but what if you need to get in the board because you want to change out like the foam stack that you have or just something? Oh, this is for... What on earth is this? Okay, just so you guys can see what I'm dealing with here. There are batteries here, a ribbon cable here as well. And then another bunch of screws. Do I have to take out these screws too? I guess I do. How do you guys feel about potential build issues with the board? Or not build issues. How do you guys feel about build processes like this? This is not take apart friendly, I'll tell you that. Feels like you're taking apart something you're not supposed to. It does, doesn't it? But I want to go inside the keyboard. Best part is no part. I see a lot of screws. Yeah, like the quality of this is fantastic. Got to admit, like everything is like, even the inside's great. A lot of times the inside you get
subbed to the goat Alex Zotpog.
Thank you, dude. Appreciate you, man. I wish IQUINIX would do way better with their own boards. I have an F97 and the only thing I can change is the switches. Yeah, you know, again, friendly advice. I have nothing against IQUINIX at all, or IQUINIX, whatever you pronounce it. Frosty, thank you again, dude. I have nothing against them. The quality of this looks fantastic, like the Ano or whatever this is. I think this is an Ano. Looks great. However, I think making it more friendly to open and take apart and customize is something that I expect with the price point of $360-ish US dollars. And I like the concept of the board. And again, visually, I think it's kind of fun, but you know, when I'm being told basically that, yeah, it's not gonna be easy to take this apart, it kind of loses some of the appeal to me. Ooh, look at this gigantic ribbon cable. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So then you got this piece here. The build experience is a big selling point, IMOs. This may not be it for me. That's why Mode has killed it lately. Yeah. Fun. Again, potential to swap out things like badges and stuff. I really like the finish of this. It's like nice, it's solid. I'm gonna take out some of this foam though. There is no flex cuts on the PCB though, so that's a good sign. I like that. Take out this guy, we'll take out that foam. I'll put this back together here though. I think I'm gonna leave the mid plate foam in. I might switch out some of the switches though, because I don't think these are the best for this build. Oh, and then there's a separate little daughter board over here, I guess, for the LEDs. Okay. And is that all in terms of pieces? Interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's put this back together. Again, not the most friendly to put back together either. A little awkward. Okay. This gives 10 at 70 build vibes. It sort of reminds me of that too. I won't even lie to you. It does. It does give me those build vibes. I mean, this is not end of the world level type difficult. I think the... Okay, you know what would make me feel better about this? Truly? A more clever way to screw all these different pieces together instead of just sticking a whole bunch of screws on the back here. And then I think not including adhesive feet would also be very important as well. Just something a little bit more clever, that's all. Meanwhile, you can take apart the Cycle 7 in 5 seconds. Yeah, I agree there. You definitely can. That's what makes that keyboard so interesting. It's just took a lot of different inspiration from boards. I'm kind of also getting kind of that vibe, but at least unlike a... I'm going to look at the bright side here, and I'm not saying this just to be nice, okay? On the bright side, I guess, I have seen pre-builds where uninstalling things in a pre-built is just horrendous. I think the most horrendous thing about this might be the adhesive feet. Sure, it has a lot of screws. Whatever. No, I totally get it, Draught. Again, though, kind of sad, though, because I actually liked the design of this just a little bit. Ooh, I have a coffee ring over here from my coffee this morning. I'm sorry, guys. You have to see that. Do you think the Jelly Evolve has a wow factor? Listen, to me, not really. I'm kind of over, and this might be a bias, I'm over the Jelly. It's not really my thing anymore. So it doesn't really have a wow factor. I mean, I haven't really even touched my Jelly, so. Cool concept, poor execution. Yeah. I like the idea of it being more modular. Really like that idea of it. But I think they need to do some tweaking to the overall board itself. All right, let's somehow put this back together now. I guess we'll just do it like this. And like this. What are my thoughts on clone keycaps? You can like clones, you can hate clones, you can only support clones. That is none of my business. But I will tell you that I personally don't support them. So if it's something you want to support and it makes you feel better or it's good for your budget, you do you. I really don't like the way that this assembles. Like, how on earth do you get this even? I guess you would have to do it like this. And carefully flip it all over. Not too bad, at least it's kind of self-explanatory with how this works, but still ridiculous. I'm lining these batteries back up. I think a ribbon cable was a bad move here, but I understand why they had to do it to get it to fit, but maybe it's coming out soon for Mechland. I don't know. I actually really like this screwdriver. It's actually quite nice. It feels good in the hand. It's a little bit weighty, which I kind of like too. How do you like your coffee? Dude, I like my coffee with creamer. I don't care what anyone says. I usually put like I'd say sugar and a half. And then I use creamer as well. Just like a little bit of creamer. No, electric screwdrivers are legitimately, unless you have some sort of reason to use them, like maybe you have a wrist issue or something like that. Electric screwdrivers, absolute waste of money. Let's see, did I? See, that's cool. I like this. It's a cool concept. I really like the concept. Price is a little bit too high though. They could have done a few things, I feel, to reduce the price point. Removing that foam, I feel like this is already going to be way better without that foam in here. Let's find out, shall we? Where did I put the keycaps that I was literally just using? Let's find out, shall we? Is the right keycap? Let me try a different switch. Yeah, like, dude, if this was about $200, I would say, yeah, this is pretty fun. But the fact that it's almost double that is a little concerning. I need to take out some of the switches, yeah. So you could barely taste the coffee. Everyone's different with coffee, right? I mean, it's the same with keyboards, right? That's why, like, I can sit here and give you guys my honest feedback with things, but would it be terrible of me, as I'm sure it's asked a lot, to ask about for a recommendation for an in-stock board that I could get at the moment, something like an Alice or 65? Aviation, my go-to 65 at the moment, and I know some people hate me recommending this at this point, I really think, oh, is there PE foam in this? There is. That's why it sounds a little bit foamy. That's okay. I think just getting the Envoy is a fantastic board. I know some people hate me saying that, but I mean, this doesn't sound that awful with the PE foam, or what, I don't even, this might be like an IPXE foam. I'll find out here in a second. Let me just adjust these stabs, because they're not that great. They're okay stock stabs. I mean, that's not a terrible spacebar when you put in a different switch. Let me dress up the rest of this keyboard. Let me just put in a few switches here. We'll take out all these Moondrop switches, I believe they're called. My syringe is 20520. It does not have flex cuts on the PCB, no. No flex cuts. How did the alphas sound? Let's put in these little alpha keys here just for funsies. Do I want to switch out the alphas, or should we leave them with these? I'm going to try Pink Robins with these because I feel like a long pole switch would probably help. Yeah, I'm going to switch them all out for Pink Robins. Pre-lube switches. Anything by the brand, well, by the menu called Aphelion, I think is really good for pre-lubed. And then if you did want another good recommendation, I do feel like the cream sodas in their stock config aren't that bad, and I think they're a pretty popular switch. But I still would recommend with a lot of the pre-lube switches, if you want the best result with your keyboard, you know, the Wuche ones are pretty good too. I'm not sitting here trying to like tell you guys that pre-lube switches are bad, but if you want the best results, you do them yourself. Even like the Envoy switches, the Obscura switches from Mode, like they're good. I really like the way they sound, but only after you hand lube them. Even their pre-lube stuff is just okay, I'd say. If you're not good with hand lubing, the Pink Robins, I believe they're from Aphelion. Pink Robins, I think there's one from, what are they called? The Moon V2s from Kinetic Labs. Those are pretty good. Matcha switches, what are they called? The Matcha Latte switches. Pretty good. Anything by Wuche is not that bad if you enjoy a little bit more of like a higher pitch switch. Beeson switches, are they good stock lube? If I've tried them, I don't remember. All right, so you do get an FR4 plate with this. For the price, I would have liked to see maybe an alu plate at the very least. Have you had any experience with the PC Envoy yet? I built one for a YouTuber, and I thought it was pretty nice. Oh. Dude, the Avalon switches are nice too, but if they are stock lubed, they're not done well. You have to lube those. As someone who is also named Alex, do you think it'd be funny or weird for a keyboard meetup for people to say Alex? I think it would be cool. You mean like calling me? I think maybe 2 people ever have called me Alex Odos in person. I think majority of people just say Alex. Oh, for people with just named Alex, like a meetup for just Alexes? I don't think there's a lot of Alexes in this hobby. I think there's maybe like 5. The Envoy isn't available in white. I think that's sold out like first. I'm called Alex. Is there any other Alexes in chat? Any other Alexes? Any possible advice how to start enjoying and not minding resonance, being more open? Been trying for a while the Sonic to get rid of the resonance and the mods, having no luck. Love the sound except for the resonant mods. Have you done the whole trick with the Envoy of using the mid-plate foam on the bottom? Kind of like a pseudo stack mount, just not using the silicone. So I've actually, okay, so we'll talk about this, I suppose. I've actually grown to like some resonance in keyboard. I feel like it does give some character. Again, not every board, some boards. I think the way to start enjoying things like that is through variety. So for example, maybe the reason why I like it so much is just because I have, you know, I'm lucky enough to have a variety of things at my disposal to use. I noticed this as well, and this is an important one. The moment I started sound treating my room, it's not the best sound treating I have in this room. I still think there's a little bit of an echo. I noticed issues with my boards less. And the boards sounded way better. So a lot of like the yucky sounds, the moment my room started to feel a bit more like, you know, sound treated, went away. But I think with anything, it's character of a keyboard. Some boards are going to be like that, and that's okay. Some won't be. Not every 2 boards are going to be the same. Starting to accept that's a good one too. Me on the way to the recording studio to enjoy my board. Well, by sound treating, guys, number 1 tip with sound treating: carpets. Carpets make a big deal. Stuff in a room is a big deal for sound treating too. Do I hate carpets? I used to hate them, now I don't mind them. Thicker desk, even positioning. Like, I have my desk near a window, which isn't the best idea in the world, but it is what it is. Just fill your room with us. Oh, with useless junk? No resonance. Believe it or not, the window does reflect a lot of sound though. It does. Windows are awful for that. Like the glass of it, yeah. The glass will reflect a lot of sound. And I also have plastic shades. That reflects a lot of stuff too. What's your go-to plate material? Depends on the mounting style, but aluminum. Aluminum is usually my go-to. I'm gonna leave these ones here for now. We can use that as like maybe a compare. For those who are not in the know, Paramount Keeps is 20% off. Where's Paramount Keeps located again? Apparently they're happy Ferrari. They are happy Ferrari won a race. Oh, because the F1 races. Hal, thank you so much for the tier 1, dude. Really appreciate that, man. Do you notice any scratches on the Pink Robins? Scratchiness? I've used Pink Robins a number of times, and not really. But, I mean, they're in the same category as I think Pink Robins, like the pre-lubed ones, can also be a little bit inconsistent at times. So perhaps if you are experiencing a scratchy Pink Robin, there might not be done to the same level as the other Pink Robins. Palm plate craze. That didn't last very long. The palm plate stuff, I feel like was an overnight thing. There's been a few trends that have been like overnight trends. Low-key, this doesn't sound bad. This might be a fun board to type on. We'll see. Seems like it's pretty soft typing wise here. My preference is the complete anti-meta. What do you mean by that? Put these in here so I don't lose my stuff. This layout's kind of strange. It's definitely a little bit out there. Definitely a little weird. I love palm and flexed out with PE foam. Yeah, no, that's nothing wrong with liking what you like, you know, Oak. I still have one switch or one keyboard that I use pretty regularly. I use it for my gaming setup. I use the thermal. I've been using it a lot actually recently. It's the thermal I put PE foam in. Kind of like it. For gaming, it's fun. You wouldn't be able to separate this. I think if you were to buy other kits, it would probably come with a different base or something. And this is kind of where I'm also not following what IQUINIX wants to do. And I'll talk about that here in a second. I'll talk about it now. IQUINIX basically wants to sell this as like your starter kit. And then they're going to have add-ons. Which I'm assuming why they've constructed this with so many pieces and the price has gone up so much. However, if the idea is to take this apart, as I just demonstrated, it's not difficult to take apart. It's just tedious. Which makes no sense why you'd make something that might have to come apart to customize tedious. If the idea isn't to take this apart, I still think it's kind of ridiculous that a custom keyboard or a keyboard that offers like hot swap and other options to it would still be tough to take apart. And again, sorry, not tough. Tough might be the wrong word. Tedious. Because actually it wasn't very hard. So not really sure what their ideology is there, as well as making this an extremely high price point and then selling you kind of add-ons. Like I think they want to do like a numpad that you can buy. I think strong magnets would work for the modular parts. Yeah, like they could have, what I think they could have done is a magnet type thing, or perhaps using, you know, different elements of things. So perhaps putting the screws on the sides so you can just like quickly attach things. Magnets probably would have been the smartest idea. What high-end board has given you the best impression and most wow factor? The Derivative, probably. I think I liked the Derivative and the Quantum for the higher end keyboards. Those two have been my my go-tos in terms of favorites so far. I think the most lackluster build so far this year, unfortunately, probably is going to be the Ginkgo rerun. It had like everything that I don't love in a keyboard in it. Not a bad board again, just not my thing. No, this is completely fixed. Fixed layout for this guy. Didn't take a second to answer. I wish I didn't sleep on the Derivative. Derivative was nice, dude. Do you have recommendations for switches for the Neo 65 that has that high-pitched Alex Otto sound? I'm flattered that you'd consider a sound to be Alex Otto's. Long pull switches, probably. You're gonna want to go with something like Obscuras or Cream Sodas, or even like the Pink Robins we're using today. I do recommend, maybe not for the Pink Robins, hand lubing the Cream Sodas and all the other switches. So that is my recommendation there, just so you can ensure that you're going to have a consistent switch. Hoping to get Derivative extras. heard those are those shipping soon, actually? All right. Let's put this, I guess, together and see what this is gonna sound like. It does have a whole bunch of accessories, which, you know what, maybe we'll go through now. I don't exactly know what's in here. I really don't understand what this box is for. Oh, the Bluetooth dongle, as well as some stickers and paperwork. Then we have actually a pretty quality looking cable on this one. That's quite nice. All your boards sound amazing. Consider that type of high-pitched, clacky, poppiness sound to be yours. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. And they have a screwdriver in the other box that's visible. So nothing crazy for accessories. So perhaps the idea isn't to take this apart. Let me actually do all the rest of these too. I would like to see more from this brand though. I mean, they're a pretty fairly sizable brand, right? So perhaps if they do something else cool in the future, I would like to keep an eye on them. They seem to be slowly moving into the custom or higher end market lately. Unsure why. The higher end market's kind of slow right now. And so the Alex Otis keyboard sound signature was born. You guys are too kind, man. Holy. Actually too kind. Interesting. The Outlaw by Ducky? I have not seen that, no. Is it cool? The cable's a nice touch for sure. It's nice. The legend of his clack lives on. You guys, don't make me blush right now. What the heck? What are your thoughts on the Texie coffee chip switches? Coffee chips. You know, I feel like I haven't used them in a while, and I don't want to lie to you. I can't recall how they sound and feel. It's something I probably have to go and like play around with again. This is shaping up to be a pretty typical, I guess, PE foam style board, which is nothing wrong with that. Thought I'd just mention it though. Keychron made custom hybrid stabs of their 1.7U low profile keycaps. Is it just for their keyboards? The enter's kind of crooked. Oh, it might just be because I didn't push it in all the way. My bad. Sorry, guys. I do that quite often with my keycaps. I really don't push them in all the way. I do not understand. They do not sell keycaps. Oh, I have no idea. It's weird how they broke the traditional case into like 8 parts. Yeah, well, I guess we'll talk about a little bit about that here in a second. 4, 8, I guess this is 12 here. Yeah. How can I word this? I'm not really understanding what they're like, what the goal of this keyboard is. It's supposed to be something customizable, but then also, like, why is it so counterintuitive to take apart? Like, I don't think there's a good, clear direction with this build. And you know, I think that's maybe the most honest thing I can say here is just I'm not really sure who this is supposed to be targeted towards. You know? I'm not positive. Is there market enthusiasts? Is there market people who just like the look of this keyboard? Is there market someone who wants something super customizable? And is their idea behind the board is to buy one thing and then just buy add-ons continually for it? Which again would lead into the conversation of, wouldn't you want something that's easy to build? I like the idea of the build. I like the idea of having something that looks modular and perhaps has some function down the road so the board just doesn't like sit on a shelf if you decide that you want a different layout. I just don't think it's implemented very well. It actually looks pretty good with bento on it. I'm not even gonna shit you guys. I actually like the way this looks. This board was made for bento. I was kind of hesitant about this colorway. Now I'm kind of vibing with it. Yeah, that's why. Red. That's what I need to figure out. And it might not even be a tonight thing that I can figure that out in. Maybe that's like a tomorrow night thing that I like sit down and think about who this board is for. But I don't know. Honestly, I thought this was modular. They make it look modular on the website, right? They make it seem like you're going to buy other things. But I'm not sure how that's going to work. Damn, I really like the pink Robin switches. They're actually quite a nice feeling switch. You can change the colors, I guess. The other colors look much nicer than this one here, in my opinion. This is a novelty board that looks cool, but you also don't need to build it. Yeah, maybe that's where it falls into, right? This is a very novelty board where if you enjoy the aesthetic of it, then maybe that's where the market lies. Which is a shame because I think there could be a lot of cool... And dude, to keep it a buck with you guys, I've been saying for a while, why isn't there a cool modular board that offers itself as something that's really fun and lasts a while because it's gonna, you know, have a whole bunch. Anyways, I'm just not understanding why they didn't go the modular route. Hey Alex, how is this going? Dude, it is going today. I am today I actually got a lot done, like a lot of little chores done, which I'm pretty happy about. But tomorrow is going to be an even more chaotic day for me because I have a whole bunch of other things I want to do too. There are people that have purchased the wooden keyboard and placed them in tofu cases. Is there any chance for a manufacturer or group buy in the future to feature rapid trigger? By rapid trigger, you mean... Sorry. Do you mean like the Hall effect switches? I'm not too familiar with all the terminology when it comes to the wooden keyboard. So you'd have to help me, I guess, with that. Is that what you mean by that? The Hall effects? All I can say is I've been seeing more brands. Like, didn't... what is that brand called? The one that's by 100 Thieves. Or that 100 Thieves owns. The one that makes all those hype anime keyboards. Why am I blanking on this? High Ground. Didn't High Ground just make a Hall effect switch or keyboard? Not just the switch, but they made a Hall effect style one. I think correct me if I'm wrong. I think the first major brand to feature those switches wasn't the first major brand SteelSeries. Didn't they have it in one of their boards? Again, I'm probably just talking out of my ass at this point, but it's from what I recall. The Apex, right? Did Razer have it before SteelSeries? Without saying too much, I would say that if you guys are interested in things like that, just keep your eyes open. But also, as a, a content creator or a keyboard enthusiast or whatever, there's not much customizability with those things. You have to understand, like, you can't really open them up and lube them. There's a magnet at the end of the day. You can't, like, it's, if you guys are into the whole idea of like customizing your physical product and then also tinkering and modding and sound, those might not be the things for you, but keep your eyes out, I guess. Yeah, that's all I can really say. The Hall effect switches sound really mid no matter what. Yeah. But if you like the technology behind it, yeah, keep your eyes peeled, because I'm sure there's going to be more brands in the future. I can't say too much, but just keep your eyes peeled for things. I mean, dude, everyone's releasing them nowadays. We got what's it called? High Ground. I feel like some other brands came out recently too with their own rendition of Hall effect stuff. I don't think it's going to be the future. I just think it's going to be an alternative. Diego's wooden build yesterday was pretty dope. Sounded good. He was very surprised. Did Diego do that as a client build? I missed that stream. I've used 2 of the Hall effect keyboards now. I did a wooden one, and then I had tried someone's customized wooden keyboard where they did put it into another case. It sounded okay. It wasn't my favorite thing in the world. I mean, that's cool that he did that. Dude, I am struggling to find some of my up arrow with this. Where is it? Here it is. Found you. Function code. And then we need a few more pieces. Control. Then I need to find the F8 key. Nope, but insert works there. Page up and home. F8. Do you guys happen to see an F8 key? Or am I just gonna get lazy and put in whatever? The thing with the wooden stuff is that the plate and PCB switches cannot be modified. Yeah, that's completely it. It's right there. No, oh shit, it is right there. You guys weren't even lying. Oh, actually, you know what? This turned out way better than I thought it was. This turned out way cooler. You didn't even see it either? Oh my God. Like, low-key, I kind of like the way this looks. I feel like it fits Bento very well. The blue's not 100% the same color, but not that noticeable. It does look pretty nice. Again, the branding here is just too much. This needs to be moved somewhere else. The overall aesthetic of the board's pretty neat, though, I have to admit. Not a fan of the price point. Not a fan of how the keyboard gets put back together. That's like a typical PE foam sound. The layout I don't care for either. Like, it's not gonna bother me none. Oh yeah, I think the switches definitely made a big difference. Do you guys think this sounds overly PE foamy? I kind of think it's like a middle ground. No, there's no ping at all. No, you can't build it. I mean, not that I know of. You can't build it southpaw. Because I don't think you're able to flip this around because of the way the screws work on the back of this. Right? I think the only screws that are available to screw it in over here, that big cluster of screws is over here. It does sound a bit plasticky. I think the aluminum, if they offered an aluminum plate, which I don't think they do. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, the sound's not bad. The sound's not bad. It's an FR4 plate. However, I do want to play devil's advocate here, and I want to say that the PE foam sound, or using a foam sheet like that on just about any keyboard, you might be able to receive results like this. The keyboard does feel great though. Like, this is super soft to type on, and I really appreciate that. Bluetooth is nice. Having a dedicated, switch here on the back is quite nice, to be honest, instead of having to take off keycaps for that. That's pretty cool. Again, I think there's a lot of good quality of life things that probably already exist with IQUINIX's, brand. However, I think they're newer to creating something, again, I hate using this, but like high end. So they do fall short on in terms of customization, because I can already see these feet are starting to slip off, and I haven't even done much. So in case you guys missed it, you do have to take off the feet to access the board, and they're adhesive feet. I've used 2 other IQUINIX boards in the past. They've always been okay. I've never been thrilled about them, nor have I really been truly disappointed. This price point, though, a little tougher to say that I'm not disappointed at the price point. It doesn't. Okay, to keep it, I guess, very off the cuff here. I'm failing to understand why the keyboard needs to be this price. If the keyboard needs to be this price because there is so many elements you need to like CNC and aluminum and stuff, or aluminum and anodize, then I think rethinking the design to make a cheaper alternative to this would make more sense. But I think it's definitely very hard to recommend at almost $400. Let's call it what it is with shipping. It does get tough to recommend. Even if you love the way this looks, yeah. If this was a few years ago and they were charging $400, it might have been a little easier to be like, you know what? Sure. Like, this is a neat little board at $400, regardless of some of the issues. However, with today's market, everyone wants, especially with the economy and stuff, people want cheaper things. So it's just not completely ideal to say that this makes sense. Ooh, I kind of like that it's left the line now. It's pretty fun. Setting it down seems pretty rattly. Really? Sure, that's just not my cable? That's just my desk, I think. Yeah, it's just my desk. It's like the wires and stuff out of my desk. I mean, other than that, if this board interests you, I think it's going to be in group buy for a little while. But if you guys, again, want my opinion on it, it's hard to recommend this board at this price point. Yeah, it might be the switch puller. I think it might be the wire from the switch puller. Yeah. Yeah, the feet are a big concern to me as well. that weird noise? Maybe that's why you need the bottom foam. I don't know. Why is it squeaking? Okay, my assumption is it's probably the way that the keyboard is aligned on the inside. I don't think it's a lining issue though. I think it's just literally... Oh, these do other things on the keyboard. I think it's the way that the leaf springs on the keyboard are. I think it's too close to the edge. It's something right over here. You know what that is? I think that might be...
What are your thoughts on the
I think it is the leaf
AMF2
springs.
from Space Cables?
Rat mod. My thoughts on the AMAFA R2 from Space Cables. I personally don't love the way that board looks. I see one at a meetup, but I think that's also just my style. I don't think I like the really heavily like gamerized keyboards. What the is that really just the leaf springs? I feel like... I think it is. Sounds physically painful. It is annoying. I'm gonna message them with like all my fucking issues. Are you squishing some foam? There's nothing underneath for me to squish. I took out all the foam. IQUINIX team watching this and now sweating. I mean... You know what else I would like to see from certain brands? I mean, just all brands. Truth, again, in my opinion, the best way to go about doing things like this, don't run the group by now. Send it out to content creators, send it out to people to review, whatever you need to do. Get input on the board, then fix all the issues, then run a group by. Don't just run a group by. Send people things, stuff doesn't work well, and then you hope to God that if you invest in the board, those things change. There's been a few projects like that now. It's a real shame. Kind of like the way this looked. I was really hoping this would have like some really cool stuff to it overall, but the group buy is almost done. It's like getting worse the more I click it. It sounds like foam. It sounds like a foam to me, like squishiness of a foam too. But there's nothing left in there. I took it out. I don't feel like taking it apart again. Forgot to add the WD-40? I guess so. But that's pretty much it. This is the IQUINIX 1+1. Definitely has some objective issues. Like I usually tell you guys, I think there are like subjective issues and objective issues. I think there are, I would consider this 3 major objective issues. 1, adhesive feet. Those need to go. They need to fix that. 2, the squeaking. I guess this is from me taking out the foam. I'm assuming if I left this in, this would not happen anymore. Maybe I'll chalk that up to maybe I built something wrong. I doubt it though, because it feels like it's everywhere. Perhaps it's even the ribbon cables squishing. Who knows? Still an objective issue. Should be able to build this without sort of something like that happening. And then the last objective issue, I personally think that the price point of this, way too high. I think they need to rethink what this board is a little bit to kind of make it fall. Did you get creaking noises? Did you get them too, Nine? I think it's the plate, right? Is it the plate? That is bizarre. Dude, I was like worried I did something. I think so. I think it's the way they did their leaf springs. So objective issues, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Like when I'm reviewing other boards, like for example, I'm doing like the Envoy or any other board. There are certain things that I chalk up to subjective, which I don't harp on. But when I know it's
Alex
objective,
Love, hope you enjoyed your break.
Thank you,
Those
Super
Banff
Meat Gusta.
picks are incredible.
Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a good one. Objective issues, I speak out on all the time. Subjective issues, that's just my preference. These are objective issues. Box spring mount. It does kind of sound like a... If you close your eyes, it's... If you didn't hear the keycap noises, it would kind of sound like a bed box spring for sure. That's unfortunate. Can you make your bed rock? That's what song is that again? That's the Lil Wayne, Drake, all those other people there. I think so, right? I can't. Sounds like a motel bed, huh? Sounds like a bed noise from upstairs. What the? Sounds like the foam electronics used to be packaged in. Sorta. Careful that's you get pregnant. Okay. The keyboard 9 months later. We'll take a look in 9 months, guys. We'll see what happens. Alright, guys. That's pretty much the stream, though. It wasn't going to be a long one today just because it was already pre-assembled, and taking a look at it's not like that difficult for this guy here. That got sus real quick. Tomorrow, I am not going to be streaming. Well, actually, I might stream. My harbor finally came in. I got my personal harbor. So I totally forgot I had that board coming in. I will probably do that board if I decide to stream tomorrow. So we'll see about me doing that. But Thursday I will be streaming. Let's tell you guys what I'm going to be doing then. Let's take a little look-see. Wait, no, tomorrow I am streaming. It's Wednesday tomorrow. I'm lying to you guys. I'm doing the Allison 60. Thursday I'm off. Friday I'm doing another Envoy. And then Sunday I'm doing that Martingale prototype. So yeah, interesting. Okay, I have to say this really quick. And unless I get some sort of confirmation that the IQUINIX won't creak, and they fix some other stuff, this board doesn't really make sense to me to pick up. And be 100%. Why is it July again? It feels like July again, huh? How much better do you think the Envoy is over the Neo? I think the Neo just presents a different sound profile. I don't think one or the other is better or worse. Worst board of the year? No, I've definitely experienced worse. Just you guys haven't seen it on stream. Like I've told you guys many times, there are certain boards I don't stream. I build ahead of time because I don't even know the brand. There are certain things you guys have not seen, nor do I plan on showing you guys because I don't even want to give those brands attention, that I will never use. So there have been worse things I've built. In terms of what I built on stream, I don't know. I have to really think about it like worst of the year. Please show it. No, I don't even want to give them attention. Even if it's like just a few people who watch, you know. All right, though, guys. Until next time, I'm going to go try to fix this board so I can maybe give it away or something like that. Let's see who we can go raid. Should we just go raid Clackbait? go raid Mr. Clackbait. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your nights. Take care, everybody. Hope you guys have a good one. Really appreciate you guys being here. I'll see you guys again tomorrow night anyways. Peace out, everybody. Goodbye. Love ya.